Everyone, welcome. We're here live on the Sporting Tribune with myself, Fredo Cervantes, and we have the honor and the privilege to have one of the great Dodgers of all time. We have the one and only Andre Ethier, number 16. Andre, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. Beautiful summer day here. Looking forward to having our first talk and first meet here on your show.
Yes. It's an honor to have you here. And I was just telling you right now, watching your whole career between 2006, coming in with the Dodgers and making your way through the 2017 season. I know the last two seasons were a little tough for you, but you still got the opportunity to be around this team. And just see what you brought to the table every single day in and day out with this organization. We will get into that, but the most important part about everything right now is you are getting involved here with Sam's Club. You're teaming up with Sam's Club, which they got an amazing offer coming up here on National Hot Dog Day, July 17th. First of all, do you like hot dogs, Andre? Are you a hot
I
dog
love
guy?
something, but more importantly, I am a hot dog guy. But more importantly, I'm not only teaming up with Sam's Club, I'm also teaming up with Pepsi, and
Yes.
Pepsi zero sugar. So that's
Zero
that's the
sugar.
key about this is that 100%. So Sam's Club on their side is offering this cheddar cheese pork hot dog, which I am a fan because being in LA all these years, being around them street dogs, being around that, the famous Dodger dog, all those hot dogs that I've got a chance to be around, I feel like I'm an expert and a connoisseur of them myself. And being a dad who is the go-to, food for any kid is the mac and cheese and hot dog when they're hungry.
Woo!
I feel like I've covered all right. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about. So I feel like I've covered all my bases with my hot dog expertise, and no better way than me this summer. What goes natural with baseball in summer is hot dogs, and now Sam's Club and Pepsi, and I'm able to bring all these together and have a great experience and a great fan experience available for all Dodger fans and LA fans here July 17th at a Torrance Sam's Club coming up this summer.
Okay, that's going to be amazing. So everyone out there listening and watching this, go ahead and get that new cheddar cheese pork hot dog and a Pepsi single zero sugar combo for only 138. That's $1.38. That of course I'll be sampling throughout July 17th and the 31st at Sam's Club. And definitely, Andre, I'll go ahead and get the opportunity to meet you that day. I'll be out there checking everything out, how everything goes. But real quick, how did this kind of come about? Of course, partnering with Sam's Club and Pepsi.
I was kind of, when I first got introduced to this, I thought it was one of those things where it was spoken into the universe for me. And I say that because I love sweet things like anyone else, but you're trying to stay on a diet, stay diligent in what you're doing. So I was looking for an alternative of a sweet thing with a little bit of caffeine to offer me some type of kick later on the day. Being a dad, sitting around with four kids, driving them to practice at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't always want to reach for that energy drinks and still wanted something sweet and, not feeling necessarily. So I actually started sampling all these zero sugar sodas and ended up being on Pepsi. And I think like I say in the universe, shortly after this, and me not searching it out, actually, someone in my agency bring to me said there's an opportunity to partner with Pepsi, Zero Sugar, and Sam's Club on this deal. Are you interested? And I said, actually, I just started drinking this about a month ago, and I love it, and I think it's great tasting. And the rest is history from there. We figured out a way to have a great partnership, bring hot dogs, the barbecue joys of summer, which is grilling and those hot dogs, and then bringing another great product together, which is Pepsi Zero Sugar, together, and all in the great air conditioned comforts of Sam's Club. Which I know if you're like me, you love pushing that shopping cart around.
Hmm.
Of course, looking for all the samples that you can find
Right.
and see, but making sure you're seeing what the new great product is you can find at Sam's Club, and that's kind of how this all came to be. And I said, this fits my life. This fits where I'm at in my life right now, which is hot dog cooking, zero sugar soda drinking, and
There it is. What
Sam's
a
Club.
perfect combo.
Right? I know, and Sam's Club shopping cart pusher guy.
There
or
it
dad.
is. There it is. Well, Andre Ethier, anyone want to go ahead and check him out? He will be hosting a community event at the Sam's Club in Torrance, July 17th between 2 p.m. and 6 o'clock. So go ahead and hang out with Andre for 4 hours and eat hot dogs, drink some Pepsi, zero sugar, and enjoy that time. But Andre, talk to us a little bit about your, you talked about it, your dad life, having kids, and
Yeah.
right now you're going to be going on to this road trip to go watch your son play up in San Francisco. Talk to me a little bit about that journey of becoming a dad and now having your kids playing baseball.
I say it all the time, right? I got the chance to live the best life in my 20s and in early 30s, being an LA Dodger, being a professional baseball player in LA, and those fortunes and those benefits of having the career I did in LA has now afforded me the lifestyle to be able to hang out with my family, come to a Dodger game on July 22nd, Dodgers Giants, first game of that big series, go around, and then also just be a dad, follow my kids around their sports, be their fans, be there for them, and just be able to be involved in all different aspects of what I want and how I want to do in life, which is still being a part of the Dodger organization, which is on the marketing and engagement side for corporate sponsorship stuff. I love doing that. I love meeting all the fans. I love meeting a lot of the groups that come in and bring communities to the stadium, whether we're having a on-field batting practice for Boys and Girls Club to going out in the community and opening up a new ballpark in around LA. So yeah, I'm living a great life, living unbelievable, and part of it is eating hot dogs and drinking Pepsi. What else could be
Right,
could
right.
be the
Perfect
more
way.
icing on top of the this baseball cake that I was able to build all these years.
That's an amazing retiring life that you're living right now, especially watching your
Yeah,
kids,
for sure.
play baseball and everything. That's amazing. But let's go ahead and rewind a little bit. When you first got to the Dodgers, when you first got to the Dodgers, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you were traded from Oakland to Los Angeles, right? And do you
2005.
right? Do you recall? If was it for Milton Bradley?
Milton
Or
Bradley and Antonio Perez. So Antonio Perez
right.
was the kind of throw-in infielder, a part of that deal. But the marquee deal was Dodgers needed to get Milton Bradley somehow, or the organization, and the Oakland A's were left-handed heavy throughout the organization and needed a right-handed bat. And I kind of was the person at the right place and right time who benefited from that trade coming over. Yeah, I was December of 2005 that I was traded over, and yeah, had my first spring training with the Dodgers in '06 and called up May 2nd, 2006, and had a great career from that day on with with the team in LA there.
Yeah, that's amazing. I really recall that moment watching that trade and getting the news. As I was telling you, I grew up all my life a Dodger fan, and at that point, I'm like, well, we're getting rid of Bradley. I'm like, who's this guy coming? Who's Andre? But then once you kind of came into the, that's the reaction from a lot of us at the time, just kind of looking at it, and we're like, okay, well, we kind of got the scoop and the scouting report and kind of figuring out who you were. And once you came here, it was just like we don't ever want you to leave ever again. And thankfully, you stood your whole career here. I know you were able to go to Arizona, play them every kind of month or so, going back home, and
Yeah.
that was always an amazing time for you. But it's nice to know that you recall the day you were called up, which you said was May 2nd.
Yes. Yeah, May
So
2nd.
talk to me about that moment right there, because just last night I was covering the Dodgers and looking at Justin making his major league debut. And he was just telling us yesterday, he was like, look, I got the call on Thursday. I was at Yard House having some lunch, and I get the call that I'm going to start on Sunday. So it's like, what was that moment for you when you got the call, when you got notified? Did you have a pager back then? Did you get page or?
No, yeah, exactly. Right. There's none of these fancy phones. This wasn't even heard of what we're doing right now, right? Back
Right.
then. So, and the reason I remember that date is because it's the fifth, sixth most important date in my life, and what's led to me, besides my kids being born and stuff like that, it's one of those most impactful days of my life, and it's led me to why we're sitting here today. But yeah, we were actually in Salt Lake City, cold, uh, sleet, rain day, typical in early May, late, April in Salt Lake City. And we had just got done playing a freezing 3.5 hour miserable game, got back to the hotel, and everyone went and, got some dinner across the street. And, in the hotels there back, and these guys like to play a lot of pranks and jokes on each other. So, hang a trash bag on someone's door with water in it. You open it, it falls everywhere. Knocking on doors at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, call and pick up the phone. So we had actually, took our phone off the hook because people kept calling our phone. And then all of a sudden around 2 a.m., I get a knock at my door from our manager, Lorenzo Bundy, saying, "Why aren't you answering your phone?" And I go, "Well, what's going on?" He goes, "You pack your bags, you're going to Phoenix tomorrow." And I'm like, "Did I just get traded again?" And he goes, "Nope, you're going to go play tomorrow. The major league team's in Phoenix, and you got to make your major league debut." So I didn't sleep a week that night, pack my bags. Actually, I had a 6:10 a.m. flight. Went straight to the airport like at 3 o'clock in the morning, sat there just waiting for my 6 to 10 a.m. flight. Got on that plane, probably slept, half an hour on the plane, woke up, went home, wife picks me up from the airport, go straight home, don't sleep at all, go straight to the field, get there at noon, and was in the starting lineup. And yeah, never took off that Dodger uniform after that day.
Right. So, and how amazing is that? Just getting called up and going, and the game's in Arizona. You know, how perfect.
Serendipitous, right? Serendipitous as it gets. Like the story couldn't have been written any better. You know, looking up, being a 12-year-old, growing up in Phoenix, watching, Bank One, Chase Field get built as a little kid. Um, Driving by it, seeing the World Series be played there a few years before, and then now making my major league debut in front of all my friends, family, literally 2 miles away from where I grew up is where I made my
Wow.
major league debut. So I went. My high school graduation was a mile down the road. So if you ever been to the stadium there, there's St. Mary's Basilica is on Van Buren and Third Street, and the stadium's on basically Second Street. Just south of there. So that's where I graduated high school from. So a mile from the ballpark is where I graduated high school. And, I grew up in that area, and to be able to, make my major league debut, in front of all my friends and family and have them be there. It's so tough probably to get, you hear the stories of parents who were on, three connected flights to get there for their son's, major league debut the next day once they got called up. There was none of that for me. So it was the perfect story. I remember, I think there were 60, 70 people in the stands there for my first game. And yeah, it's been a great ride since.
Last thing I know, you're mentoring a few of the young guys, and specifically Miguel Vargas. A quick little update on Miguel Vargas and his development and what you've learned so far.
We had a couple big hits this past weekend in a homer. I saw that, and
Yes.
I think just for him, it's just getting comfortable being a player who's not just going to be at third base or be on the corner infield. Turning into that kind of super utility player who can fill in. I think you always hear power develops last. He's always been a guy who's been a great bat to ball, guy who can make contact, but starting to develop where he can drive the ball out of the ballpark on a consistent basis and take chances with that swing, is going to benefit him even more. And once he learns to be able to handle the corner outfield spots on those, need to basis, he's going to find himself in the lineup a lot more. And I think he's one of those young players who's doesn't know it all, and he doesn't act like he knows it all, and that's what it's refreshing to see. He's open to trying anything and everything out, and he's not just stuck in his ways. And I think that's why he's having success coming back up, and having these chances and taking the most of them. So it's
Yeah.
exciting to see, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for this team. I hope they keep going, and I hope some of these young players that have been developing and waiting get their chance and find their way into this lineup. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you July 17th, Torrance, Sam's Club, National Hot Dog Day, cheddar cheese pork hot dog, Pepsi zero sugar. Come find me. I'll be sitting there posted up with my hot dog and Pepsi. I can't wait to see everyone, and appreciate you coming on today here.
Thank you, Andre. It was an honor to have you on here. And again, don't forget your $1.38. Bring it, get your
Dollar
combo there.
38, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Dollar
that's
38.
nothing
Can you
right there.
believe that?
I'll get someone $1.38. If you see me out there, I'll get you guys a combo out there. So make sure
Yeah,
everyone
for
go out there to
sure.
Sam's Club. All right, guys. Thank you again,
For
Andre, for your
sure.
time.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.